Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, to the World of Wrestling podcast. Here today to discuss about this terrible fucking product known as WWE Monday Night Raw, May 11th, 2026 review. And God help me if you fucking support this product, commit yourself to a mental institution. That is going to be the fucking title of this thumbnail, by the way. This show sucks. This company as a whole sucks dick. I mean, straight up, this is fucking trash. We have come to the point of no return with Obafemi. Let me just put it to you that way. We started the Obafemi Open Challenge, and now we've come to the point of nobody wants to wrestle him. I wonder why. Anyone that's willing to volunteer themselves out there to get their asses kicked has to be a fucking moron. So, Obafemi got mad and he got Angel and Garza, Angel Garza and his tag team partner, and attacked them, who used to be with Santos Escobar, which was actually an interesting trio, in my opinion. They look like the Mexican cartel, the way they were acting with their gimmick. And they're going out there and they're getting their asses handed to them by Obafemi at random. He sees them, they're talking to some ladies, and he goes after him and tries to kill him, throws him in the ring and beats the living hell out of him. Kevin Nash is talking about online, from what I heard, that they need to start opening up their doors to indie wrestlers to give other guys airtime with this dude and maybe job out to him so he can look strong and all that. No, there was no need for any of this. You see, my idea was actually anything better than what WWE's offering us right now. You see, I said Brock Lesnar should have won that match. Not by dominating fashion, but by breaking Obafemi's arm with a Kimura lock, which, by the way, is a legitimate MMA maneuver that Brock Lesnar has not used in a WWE ring in a very, very long time. Obafemi at WrestleMania could have dominated the match mostly, and then at some point, like how Triple H did against The Undertaker at WrestleMania 27, could have done the exact same thing here, where a Kimura lock is locked in, Obafemi's refusing to tap out, and he breaks his fucking arm, and the referee calls the match, and Brock is still your winner. You can have Brock Lesnar go away, disappear, Obafemi disappear for a little while, for like 2 months or so. Make it like a legitimate injury, even though it wouldn't be. And then bring him back, Obafemi that is, and call out for Brock Lesnar by SummerSlam. Then you have Brock Lesnar show up, he accepts the challenge, and the challenge is an I Quit match, because Brock didn't make him say I quit or tap out. He just broke his arm and the referee called the match because of the injury. So basically, Brock didn't really legitimately win the match. He just so happened to break his arm. Then you have Brock Lesnar job out to Obafemi and say I quit to Obafemi in his hometown, no less. And there you go. You just made Obafemi a fucking star. And then bring some guys up. Sheamus might be available at that point in time. Have Sheamus have a rivalry with him for a couple of months. Then Gunther or Roman Reigns. What the fuck are we doing with Obafemi, folks? Obafemi looks like a fucking retard. The show closed with fucking I don't believe this. With Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns and Roman Reigns throughout the entire night believe he was going to get Jacob Fatu to acknowledge Roman Reigns as the tribal chief to him. Yeah, okay, sure. How fucking delusional do you need to be, Roman? You seem pretty delusional. So, Roman seems like a retard in this whole entire setup for the entire episode of the show last night. And then Jacob Fatu shows up, obviously isn't going to acknowledge nothing. Jey Uso's trying to talk some sense into him. Jimmy's out there with Roman waiting for him to show up. He attacks Jimmy's brother before he even gets through the curtain. And then once he gets through the curtain, he's on the rampway, and you got Jimmy coming at him, telling him, hold on. And he just beats the fucking shit out of him. Then charges at Roman, and we have a full-on brawl. That's what we do. All they do is brawl. You know, JD from New York 206 said it best last night from his review. He said, you know, if you like something so much, let's say you like pizza. That's what he said. You like pizza, but you eat it 7 days a week and you don't eat nothing else for dinner. It starts to get a little stale and boring to continue to keep eating the same fucking thing over and over again. That's what this show's doing. It's supplying you the same crap over and over and over again, expecting a different result, as if people are going to continue to say this is good shit. I'm sorry, but there's an old saying. When you do the same thing and expect a different result, that's called insanity, which is what WWE does. They do the same exact thing and expect that people are going to go ahead and like this shit, when in the end of the day, they're not going to. Especially myself. This show sucks. SmackDown, the blithering shits. It's like having the fucking flu and shitting liquid out of your ass. It's diarrhea. That's how bad SmackDown is. This show, Raw, forget it. Raw's just fucking falling right behind SmackDown. AEW, they got a guy that's got his first run as world champion and thinks it's intelligent to have a match each and every episode now and wrestle twice a week and defend the title each and every time, leading towards the pay-per-view, and he's going to keep doing this until the wheels fall off. Now, why would you do that? Why would you put yourself through all that? You know MJF is coming. So you're preparing to just give him the title? Is that what you're doing? Doesn't sound very logical or intelligent to me, but hey, I kind of hoped you would have never won the title in the first place. I would have been fine with that. Could have saved you for another time. That would have been more meaningful, you know. Something that would actually give meaning to his run. His run, to me, means absolutely nothing. Jacob Fatu at Backlash should have won. Honestly. And the funny thing is, Jacob Fatu was supposedly, if he didn't acknowledge the tribal chief, Roman would see fit that he no longer works in the company. Now, apparently, instead of wrestlers having to take a pay cut, they gotta do what they're told by Roman Reigns, or otherwise they ain't got a job. Good riddance. See you later. I wouldn't want to fucking work for WWE either. Watching this shit's like having a 9-to-5 job. It's annoying, it's a pain in the ass, and it's very stressful on the eyes. Because this shit makes me want to go to sleep. I mean, like, what are we fucking doing here? This company has been a cookie cutter for a very long time. They're providing no entertainment, no fun, no nothing. But don't worry, you'll get those 3 to 4 minute ad blocks between each and every match on your pay-per-view type event. That way you can't get the full experience of what it's like to have a pay-per-view event. Holy fuck, what are we doing here, guys? If you guys, anybody, even newer viewers that tap into this video and love what WWE is doing, please just tap off. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want you even watching my channel. You're a fucking idiot. Anyone that supports what WWE is doing right now, please, get checked. You got mental problems. This company is a fucking load of shit. The matches on the show I didn't even care about. Sol Ruca and Io Sky. Why are we giving Sol Ruca a fucking L in her debut match? A debut match, she's getting an L. And then after she gets an L, we're hyping or hinting the idea of a Becky Lynch Sol Ruca IC championship. Where is she earning the right to get a shot at the fucking IC title? Where does this fucking shit make sense? You lose a match and then you're hinting a IC championship match? She shouldn't be sniffing or being talked to by a champion. No one should even acknowledge her fucking existence. This woman has lost twice, I believe, to Liv Morgan and Io Sky. What the fuck are you doing to Sol Ruca? Or Sol Ruca? She's a soul snatcher, alright. She snatches the soul out of this fucking show to me. Well, actually, that's WWE's forte, per se. So, yeah, okay, whatever. But point being is, Sol Ruca has lost 2 matches. 2 fucking matches! I think I did say that her match with Io Sky was a debut match. Not really. I mean, I think she did sign with WWE after her situation with Liv Morgan, so I won't count it, but technically you can if you want to. But fuck this show. This company is a fucking waste, and so is AEW. As much as I like to, I will say this, if I have to choose between AEW and WWE, of course I'm going to take AEW. At least they give you some sort of entertainment with the wrestling, but other times the fucking show sucks too. So, yeah, whatever. We had a AAA championship match with Dominic Mysterio and El Grande Americano, the original, by the way, with Chad Gable. And this match actually was the last match, but not the actual main event of the show. Funny how that works. But yeah, Chad Gable and Dominic Mysterio for the AAA World Championship was not a bad match, but why aren't we, like, booking the AAA Championship to be in Chad Gable's, have him win the title for him to defend it against the other El Grande Americano, so it's championship and the mask on the line? Someone has to win the title and the other has to take the mask off. Why aren't we doing that? Dominic Mysterio is not doing anything with the AAA Championship, honestly. But hey, what do I know? Before the match, by the way, Finn Balor showed up and beat the living tar out of fucking JD McDonough, which was great. And then he looked at Dominic and said, "There you go, man. You're doing it on your own. Go out there and win the match by yourself." What fucking insanity. Well, he didn't win the match by himself, obviously, thanks to the Kaiser El Grande Americano version showing up and interfering in the match with his other camaraderie or cambrandes, whatever fucking Spanish word is for guys that are in your corner, your partners, whatever. I'm making myself sound like I'm retarded. God almighty. Watching this show makes my brain cells melt. I don't know what to tell you guys. But yeah, this show fucking sucks. Trying to figure out what else happened. Oh yeah! After the match with Sol Ruca and Io Sky happened, we had a meeting between Asuka and Io Sky. And I swear, if I didn't know any better, you'd think Io Sky was portraying Rhea Ripley here. They hugged each other. They said, "Oh, I'm so proud of you and what you did. And yeah, I'm very proud that I lost to you. And you really showed me that you proved me wrong. And I'm happy you did. And blah, 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 blah. And now I'm going to go now." And you show her walking out of the building with her strolling suitcase. And she walks out the door while Io Sky is just waving goodbye. I wish I was doing that. You know, waving goodbye to this fucking shit show. Give me a fucking break. Holy fuck. Oh my god. What else? Does it really matter what else happened here? Does it really? I don't think so. I honestly believe you guys would rather hear me rant about how fucking shit WWE is than me going segment by segment what occurred, and none of it really fucking matters to you guys because you find my ranting to be more entertaining than my actual criticism about the show. Because honestly, I think everyone's in agreement. The fucking show sucks, okay? I got people that subscribe to my channel that don't even fucking watch the show anymore. And they tell me all the time, take a break. You don't need to sit there and watch it and annoy the shit out of yourself. You're right, I'm not getting paid for this shit, but I'd like to at some point so I can quit my 9-to-5 job and say sayonara to that shit. Because this shit sucks working 9 to 5. I can't fucking stand it anymore. I'd rather spend my time day after day in the morning and the afternoon researching about news and rumors for wrestling. You guys have ever heard of Sean's View Entertainment? I'd put that motherfucker to shame. I'd have so many damn stories I'd be pumping out every fucking day on this channel. I'd have about 4 or 5 videos a day. Plus the reviews. I ain't got the time to do all that shit, do reviews, and cover fucking news stories all at once. I want to do other things. I want to enjoy other things. I want to watch MMA, boxing, football. Some of you might think that I don't, there's no NFL on, which you're right, but there's also the United Football League, and there's a Canadian Football League that I'm into. So I do take the time and watch those things. I also like watching the NBA. Right now they're in the playoffs. I may not be watching it for much longer because I can't afford to keep up with all this shit. With all these different promotions and sports and stuff. It's too damn expensive. But the point being is that this company bores the fucking shit out of me. That's it. Plain and simple. Sorry, that's the ice maker, and I'm sitting here in the living room cutting this video with you guys. While in the kitchen, which is right nearby the living room, is that damn ice machine making the noise in the background if you hear it. So, just want to let you guys know that. We had a 6-man tag team match with the Vision. The Vision. What a fucking joke. So we had Braun Breaker, Austin Theory, and Logan Paul going up against the Street Profits and Joe Hendry. Do I remember who won this match? Fuck no. Does it matter? No, it don't. None of this shit matters. It's all fucking garbage anyway. But let's go ahead and take a look at what the results of these matches were, shall we? I'm sure you guys are going, no, please don't, for the love of God. But we're going to anyway. For shits and giggles. So let's see here. So they started the show with Paige and Brie Bella walking through the building. They had Roman showing up, The Vision kicks off the show. The Vision consisting of Logan Paul, Austin Theory, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman. Heading to the ring, Heyman greets the crowd and introduces himself. As tradition would have it, they're supposed to open the show on a high note, and Heyman says, "Live from the inbred capital of Eastern Tennessee, welcome to Monday Night Raw." Love that line. Thought it was great. Can't stand fucking Tennessee. Wouldn't fucking live there if you paid me. Wanna come to good old Tennessee? Yeah, sure. Can't stand Florida. I'm gonna move to fucking Tennessee. Get the fuck out of here. I wanna go moving to Nevada. Live in the countryside in Nevada. Fuck this shit. Hey, so Heyman says they're an unappreciative audience. And your company is very unappreciative to us. So I think they have a right to be unappreciative for what they're given, because what they're given is trash. But anyway. But they should appreciate the pure talent in the ring. Yeah, sure. The talent was demonstrated on Saturday at Backlash with Braun Breaker, which leads to a rhetorical question: who's not ready now? The answer to that question is Seth Rollins. On Saturday night at Backlash, Rollins was not ready for the physical onslaught of Braun Breaker. A year ago, Rollins wasn't ready for the wisdom of the wise man. Now Rollins will never have a vision of victory over them. Nice play on words there, Paul. Heyman wants to expunge from the history of the Vision that Rollins was ever among them. There will never be a reason they should mention his name again. Terrific. So let's talk about the tag team champions, Logan Paul and Austin Theory. Heyman tells Theory to air his many grievances. Theory says they have a 6-man tag team match tonight, but he wants to talk about the Street Profits. They always put their noses into their business. They need the tag team championships because Bianca Belair can't pay the bills no more. Nice line there. Can't pay the bills no more because Bianca was doing all that for them in the first place. Street Profits quickly interrupt the Austin Theory. Montez Ford greets the crowd as they get in the ring. Ford says he's here because his wife can no longer take care of the bills. But since she's busy with the baby, somebody had to come to Monday Night Raw and whip their asses all over Tennessee. Ford says Theory and Paul always think it's about them. When they came back to Raw, they had one goal: the World Tag Team Championships. World Tag Team titles. Street Profits are always up and they want the smoke. I'd love to have a smoke. A joint. Something. Shit. Fucking 6-pack of beer. Anything. Just to forget my problems. Logan Paul starts to speak and the crowd boos, and Paul says he's going to say something nice. Everyone knows that the Street Profits are a legendary tag team, but they're old news. The biggest thing Ford has done in the last 6 months is organize a baby shower. His girl is better than he is. Vision is ready to bring the smoke anytime and anywhere. Breaker and Theory were born ready, and Paul was ready before he was even born. He was ready before he was even born. Then Joe Hendry appears at ringside and he starts to sing, Paul, can we fire Logan Paul? Yeah. And that's when they went to commercial break and brought us back to a tag team match to kickstart the show. What the fuck are we doing? But anyway, the Street Profits and Joe Hendry win. And Theory quickly attacks Dawkins, but Rollins gets in the ring after the match is over and attacks. Rollins sends Theory out of the ring and helps Dawkins to his feet. Breakker runs in and hits Dawkins with a spear meant for Rollins, and Rollins then super kicks Breakker out of the ring. And the Division quickly retreats. Ford gets in the ring and gets in Rollins' face. They get into a shoving match, and that was pretty much the end of this segment. So now, Angelo Dawkins is starting to gain some trust towards Roman Reigns, while Montez Ford is not. So this might create some controversy, maybe. Then we got Adam Pearce backstage with the original El Grande Americano with the Los Americanos, which is Bruto and Julio Credo. The AAA Mega Champion Dominic Mysterio and the Women's World Champion Liv Morgan walk up and make fun of Los Americanos. And Pearce says Mysterio is going to put the AAA Championship on the line against the original El Grande Americano. Mysterio is not happy about this. Los Garza come up to Pearce and want to discuss an opportunity. In the arena, we get the IC champion Penta calling out Ethan Page. Penta says someone has been bringing up his title. So he calls him out, and all ego Ethan Page heads to the ring. Page says Penta has the audacity to tell him to say something to his face when he hides behind a mask. Page doesn't need to do that. He's all ego and comes from the greatest country on earth, Canada. Sure. Their economy is turning into shit just like ours. The only thing they got is cost-effective health insurance. Wish we had that. Last week, he pinned the IC champion. In his brain, that would make him the number one contender for the title. Apparently, they have Ethan Page going out saying things that the WWE are telling him to say, because that's the way they think. But Penta is probably afraid of losing to him again, so Penta says he's not afraid of defending his title against him. He wants to fight now! And Page tells him to hold his horses and pump the brakes. Page says he's not ready to fight. Penta's holding the IC Championship, a token of excellence. Every megastar in WWE history has held it to prove his point. Page is a megastar and he needs a spotlight. Page challenges him to a match on May 23rd at Saturday night's main event. Penta says if Page wants the title, he has to work hard. Penta is ready for war and will face him anywhere. Then Rusev comes out, and Rusev is talking to Ethan Page. Page amuses him, and Page getting the IC title championship before him doesn't sit well with him. They both won last week, but Rusev bounced Penta's head off the desk, and Page goes to agree, but Rusev growls he's not done yet. Page quickly backs down, and Rusev says Page needs to step aside before he finds himself... Hold on. I lost my place. Before he finds a new thing to amuse him. Page says he told this to Adam Pearce, but Javon Evans burst in and said Rusev doesn't deserve a title match since he can't beat him. Then Javon Evans comes out. This is like a fucking joke show. This fucking shit sucks, guys. I can't even stand reviewing this shit, let alone watch it. He interrupts and comes down to the ring and says, whoa, 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 whoa! Says that 3 different times. Evans says Page's ugly ass is lying. Even Evans didn't say anything to Pearce, even if Rusev can't beat him. Wink, wink. Page pushes Evans into Rusev, and Penta super kicks Page and knocks him out of the ring before hitting a plancha. And Evans sends Rusev out of the ring and hits a suicide dive. Penta and Evans strut in the ring. Great stuff. So we get a Javon Evans match. And obviously, Javon Evans wins the match. So, it is what it is. As you guys can tell, my energy and enjoyment of reviewing this has gone downhill as I've gone deeper in depth with this fucking review. Alright. Io Sky is warming up backstage when Asuka walks up to her. They embrace, and Asuka says she was looking for someone to take over her position. She's so glad it was Sky. Yeah, it was Sky. Are we fucking joking around here or something? Didn't we have this woman say last week she just wanted her out of her life? She can't stand her. She doesn't see her as anything more than just a load of fucking bullshit. And doesn't belong in her family no more, and she don't support her in what she does. Didn't she say that? And that when she's done, she no longer wants to see her or know from her again. Instead, we got this bullshit going on. Makes no sense to me, but whatever. Asuka says she's proud of Sky, and Sky is moved. Sky says, even if they fight, they'll always be family. They hugged, embrace, and Sky sadly says, goodbye, Asuka-san. And Asuka says, see you later. They embrace, and Asuka kisses her on the head, and Asuka leaves with a suitcase. Oh, God. This shit sucks! Next, we had Brie Bella and Paige calling out the Judgment Day. Brie Bella and Paige are in the ring. They're ready to fight. The Judgment Day, consisting of Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez, head to the ring, and Perez says they were great when they were younger. Perez says she remembers meeting Bella when she was younger and being told she'll carry on the legacy of the Bella twins. I meant everything to Perez until she realized how low the bar was set. Bella says that Perez's mom is the only one more disappointed in her than she is. This fucking shit sucks. Raquel Rodriguez holds Perez back and insults Paige and Bella. They attack the Judgment Day until the Women's World Champion Liv Morgan runs in and hits Paige with a code breaker. The Judgment Day takes out Bella and Paige, and Liv Morgan and the rest of the Judgment Day stand tall in the middle of the ring together. Following that segment, we had the world champion, Roman Reigns, thinking about the night ahead when Jimmy Uso walks up. Uso wants to know what Reigns is thinking. Reigns says Reigns says he beat Jacob Fatu, so he has to acknowledge him. They have to be men of their word, or they lose everything. And Jimmy says that he'll go find Jey Uso. Anyway, we get the match between Io Sky and Sol Ruca. I've already went over this before. Sol Ruca ends up losing this matchup. After the match is over, they celebrate in the middle of the ring, embrace, and Sky holds Ruca's arm up in the air out of respect. Following that, we had Jey Uso pacing around when Jimmy comes up to him. They don't think Fatu is going to acknowledge Roman Reigns, and Jimmy will be in the ring with Reigns The family can be stressful, but that's why they're here. Big whoop. Saturday night's main event is already got 2 matches booked for the IC Championship with Ethan Page against Penta for the title. And the World Tag Team titles are on the line with the Street Profits and the Vision. So that's what's happening on Saturday night's main event, May 23rd. This coming, or next Saturday. Not this Saturday, but next. Street Profits are asked about their title match, and Seth Rollins walks up, and Montez says Montez actually isn't happy. He doesn't say anything. Ford says people say Rollins can't be trusted, and they don't need him to win the tag team titles. Ford walks off, and Dawkins looks at him, and that's it. Wow. Great stuff. Anyway, Obafemi's walking backstage. He'll have another open challenge, which he did not. I already discussed about Sol Ruca and the situation with Becky Lynch, which I think is absolutely hilarious how they're hinting a match between Becky Lynch and a fucking Sol Ruca when that was an absolute fail for her. She didn't win her match. So the next thing that occurred on this Fakaka show was the Obafemi Open Challenge. Obviously, nobody came down and answered the challenge. Don't blame anybody for not wanting to. Maybe they just don't give a shit to waste their time getting their asses handed to them by a guy the size of Obafemi. And they just didn't bother to show up for it. So they didn't go. And that was that. So it is what it is. And he went ahead and attacked Berto and Angel Garza. They got their asses handed to them. Had a 2-on-1 handicap match, which wasn't much of a handicap match at all. And Obafemi wins in less than a minute. Wow. Great stuff. We then head into the AAA Mega Championship match, which was a good matchup, actually. Probably the only good thing on the show, honestly. And what's his name? Dominic Mysterio retained the title thanks to the help of the El Grande Americano Kaiser. And that was that. So anyway, backstage, Jackie Redmond catches up with the World Tag Team Champions Logan Paul and Austin Theory. Paul says if he has to listen to Joe Hendry's song again, he'll Van Gogh himself and cut his ears off. She asked Theory about the Street Profits, and Theory walks off. So they don't even answer the question. Then we have the acknowledgement ceremony, as if Jacob Fatu is going to acknowledge the tribal chief as his chief and acknowledge him. That was not the case. He attacked Jey Uso first backstage before going through the curtain. Then he attacked Jimmy, and then this all led to one thing to another. And this just becomes an all-out brawl, pretty much. Near the end, we see that Jacob Fatu ends up crashing into the Timekeeper's corner area, breaking the wall down, and hitting all 3 members of the bloodline of the Usos and Roman Reigns, and putting them on their asses. They're all 3 of them are unconscious. And Jacob Fatu stands tall in the middle of the ring as he licks the championship. That's pretty much what we got. That was our show for Monday Night Raw last night. This show sucks. I've spent long enough covering it. Hope you guys enjoyed it for the rants that I delivered here tonight. If you did, by all means, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel, and leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. Thank you guys very much for watching, and have a great night, guys. Bye.